Hi everyone, welcome to my video today. Thank you all that like and subscribe and watch my videos. Today I'm going to talk about kind of a serious subject about sexual assault. So I'm just going to tell you a couple of experiences that I went through. This first one is actually not sexual. It's actually not wrong what they did. It's not bad, but I'm just going to tell you experience how it made me feel. So when I was younger, I got earaches really bad, and I had to get tubes in my ears. So like I was saying, this isn't, they didn't do anything wrong, but I just wanted to start off by telling you this experience. So I got tubes in my ears a lot when I was younger, and so I remember I was probably around 6 or 7, and I just remember after I woke up, because they put me to sleep, they had put all over my front those little those little circle sticky things. I think they like to hook you up or whatever. And I noticed when I wake up, because they didn't do that before I went to sleep, and they were like all over the front of me, and I just remember feeling violated. Because I'm like, they did that when I was sleeping. They like put that all over my chest, and I just remember feeling violated. I just remember that from when I was probably around 6 or 7 or so. So, okay, this, I don't know what to think of this. I'd like to think it was just normal, but I just am curious about it, and it's probably not that big of a deal, but I just remember this, and I just think it's weird. So I was about 10 years old, and I went to the doctor for a checkup, and he was feeling my heart with his, I guess it's a stethoscope, and he reached down under my pants and put his hand and the stethoscope on my vagina, and I just remember that. And then I remember when I left, my mom's like, "Did he touch you inappropriately?" And I just lied and said, because I didn't want to say anything, so I just said no. But like, I still can't figure it out, because I looked up if there's a heartbeat there, because if he was looking for a heartbeat, but I read there's a heartbeat like in your inner thigh area. So I just think that's weird. And then, so I remember after that, this is I would play, because I love baby dolls, and I would play doctor, and then I would like put my hand on my dolls. This is probably really weird, and I'm not like gross or perverted, but I just did this like after that. I remember like, and playing doctor and touching my doll's private part, like I was copying what he did to me. And I'm not perverted or do gross things, but I don't know. So I just think that's weird. If any of you guys can tell me it's just normal, I just can't figure out like why he did that. Okay, so anyways, now that I'm older, this is maybe a few years ago, 4 years ago or so, I haven't done it as recently, but I would take my dog Puff to like rehabilitation places where people are rehabilitating, in like elder homes, and also a place where people are recovering from mental illnesses. So when I went to one of these places with Puff, my dog, I just remember there was a guy sitting in a wheelchair, and he wasn't super old. You could tell he was like with it to understand he wasn't super old. I think he was just there to be rehabilitated, and he was in his room, and I remember just having a bad feeling about it, but I didn't listen. And when I went in there, I just remember he grabbed me, and he had like a strong arm, and then he kissed me. So I was just like thinking about the other day, and I'm like, that's probably like considered sexual assault. Like, it wasn't that big of a deal. I mean, I was okay after, but like, it's still not like okay for a guy to do that. So yeah, I just don't, yeah. So okay, and another experience I had is I went to, this was like a place that I actually stayed after my mental illness. It's called Weber Human Services. You just stay there, but it's like after you go to the hospital for mental illness, but then you can you can walk around and go outside and everything. So, I mean, this guy he seemed with it enough, like he wasn't talking to himself. I mean, he seemed like, I think he knew better than to do this. So I went and sat next to him with my dog so he could see my dog. And I had pants on with holes in them. And then the holes had kind of like the strip of like the white stuff that kind of connects them. You know how holes have that? So I sat next to him and he stuck his finger in the holes in my pants and just started like rubbing my leg. So I'm like, yeah, that's very weird and not appropriate to do to a girl that just came there to see you with your dog. Like, that was kind of like a sexual type thing to do to me. Like, I was okay after, and I just was like, you know, I don't think it's okay for guys to just think they can do whatever they want with a girl. Like, have boundaries and respect for girls. And so yeah, so there was one other experience in the elder home, but this guy, he just had, I think he was really old and had dementia. So I don't think it was like, I don't know what kind of person he was like before he got dementia, but he was so old and like had dementia, I think, but he just would like repeatedly ask me to marry him. But I don't know, I just thought I would tell you about that. But okay, one more thing. Okay, so I met this guy years ago, maybe like four or 5 years ago, and part of his body is paralyzed, I think, from something that happened. I think mentally he's all there though. I mean, he's a nice guy. I think he's a nice guy, but so he got my number back then, and I told him a few years ago that I'm not interested, but to this day he repeatedly calls me and leaves voice messages on my phone. I've tried to block him, but I gotta figure out which number, because since I just got my new phone, it unblocked them automatically. So then I got another text from him when I previously blocked him. So I had to block him again, but I don't know how I'm still receiving, because I don't pick up my phone when it rings. So, like anybody, really, I don't hardly like ever. So, I just keep getting voice messages from him, and I gotta figure out what his number is to try to block him again. I don't know why it's not blocking the call. I guess the only way to solve this is getting a new phone number, because he won't. So I'm just thinking it's probably considered sexual harassment. Yeah, I don't know, yeah, so I just thought I would tell you that. And I know, like, people have had it way, 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 way worse when it comes to sexual assaults. So I don't want to act like it's a big deal or anything, but I just thought I'd let you know my experiences. So, because I think everyone's experiences are valid. So yeah. So I don't want to make this video really long, so I just thought I would tell you about those experiences. And if you're a victim of sexual assault or sexual harassment, know you're not alone, and that you have a right to speak out, and that it's not okay. And so yeah, I just wanted to tell you about those experiences. So thank you all for watching today, and who watched my videos and subscribe, and I love you all. God bless.
I can do anything, I can reach any goal today. I can do what I want, I can be what I want to be.